stage, there is a makeup box of memories. It holds my props, my roles, and fragments of my scripts. From a strand of hair on yesterday's brush to the charged treasures of the child that preceded me. Through the items I will lay before you, I will lay myself. A bittersweet, sentimental puddle.
Leave it on like that. These simple garments for which you survive. Yes, ma'am. This is your fate. Become a Frankenstein before it's too late. Here for you, here for you. Beware the eye.
Your mom asked if you had a type. You fidgeted with me around your finger in your pocket, as you often did back then. I could tell that you felt like you were guessing when you said, "Red hair." With a teasing smirk, your mom then asked, "You're into gingers?" Embarrassed by the entire line of questioning, and yet allured by the prospect of being in love, you're now mindlessly dragged across the simplified slope of my bump of hair, which ends in a few spikes. You said, "More like dark red." That was one of the first moments I realized we were both red, either blushing or revealing our insides and gushing blood. You were being more vulnerable than you even knew. You would grow nauseous looking at this desire you had pulled out of yourself. It would take you a long time to understand that you could not be comfortable with desires until you were comfortable with yourself. You would later blush out of embarrassment thinking of me. You weren't the type to carry a trinket of devotion. You put me in a bin along with cards and models. But it seems from that closet, I was able to run my fingers across your head and hair, shaping you in the same manner you fidgeted with me. You are a redhead girl now, and from my box I turned red as you styled your hair like mine. Before, you are unable to say to your mom or anyone that you are a trans woman and a queer woman. Now, you have the confidence to wear me as an earring, with both of our red heads held high.
Yes, ma'am. This is your fate. Become a Frankenstein before it's too late. Here for you, here for you. Beware the eyes of monsters, my treasure. Leave it on like that.
Get thee to a nunnery. I was looking out the front-facing window, sitting on the tips of your fingers wrapped around the steering wheel. We entered the dull glow of a street lamp, and it smoothly shifted over me. I was in the colors princess's rule and black to black, uneven and slightly chipped, and yet glimmering. We slid to a stop just beyond the radius of its glow. We were in the comfortable fold between the church gate and the tall, unruly bushes which curtained Christiana's house. From my perspective on your hand, placing the car in park, I could see our close friend Christiana sitting in the passenger seat. She was wearing a colorful floral maxi dress, a type of clothing that I wouldn't be an accessory to for years. I hadn't been on your fingers in this form, in these colors, for long. Only a few days, but for about the past month, you repainted me weekly. I had observed that the clothes you sent me into the closet and dresser to retrieve always complemented my colors. You wore me out with dedication and love. Christiana recognized this. She said that it made her happy to see you match me your nail polish to the color of your hair clips, just like how you used to match your enamel pins to your socks. You explained that painting my color on your nails was extremely gratifying, but that it was also the extent to which you were comfortable expressing femininity in your look. Christiana picked up on the silent "for now" that concluded the sentence. This spot, this setting, this scenario was also something you had dedication to. Here, in the warmly claustrophobic clutch of the car seat, you were given an opportunity to gush, to carefully dislodge and unravel thoughts about yourself, about your appearance, about gender. Your anxieties and desires were an expansive thicket of ribbon, a tangled mess of ambiguous form hidden within yourself. The ritual of painting me on and using me to find and map the ribbon was something that you had only just begun to do. This practice and these conversations were safe ways of externalizing yourself. With the light of my chromatic shimmer, you were able to unfurl snippets of this ribbon before Christiana's sympathetic and affirming gaze, avoiding the vertigo of peering within yourself. You have painted me on, and I have chipped off countless times since high school. I hope that you are grateful to every single minuscule flake of polish, for they have all helped you detangle the knotted ribbon and fashion it into your own glimmering silhouette.
This stage is a transition. In order to imagine a beautiful future, I must name and present the sensitive and the sore. Multi-textured areas of the flesh generate drama as I begin to perform a vision of euphoria. The stage, shaped by an arm and a legacy of queer bodies in motion, is only elevated beyond its grain in the presence of the body. The orientation of the stage, and by extension my footing on it, is in dialogue with these aching locations. Stage right, sword flesh tenses and stiffens, and stage left, other flesh trembles and shifts, but still I follow the blocking as rehearsed, finding the marked stage door. I look to soothe myself through the stage and while I perform a meditation on my body, where my body is cheated out and my voice is projected out, I'm really reaching and pulling forward. In the procedure, I may let out whimpers of anguish or revel in newfound euphoria, but forgive me if I keep this between myself and settles into positions both comfortable and dynamic. So does the stage. And in the motion, if a sensitive limb inadvertently reaches the audience remember that it is only a part of a larger production. Any glimpse of disgust or delight that crosses the performer's face are not meant for the audience to claim as their own. The performance is about me. So, when I take my bow and you take your leave, the show is not over. It will continue as I strike the set and begin to embody the next stage.
Attached by a latch, I dangled from the loop of your jeans. I began to tremble and buzz, a rhythmic vibration from within. With care, your fingers pinched my zipper as you dragged it around my head. The buzz emanating from inside me grew louder as the inner walls of my pouch met the Newark late summer air. You pulled the ringing phone out from its safe spot beside your passport, the one you don't use anymore, yen, and other recently used items. You left your other bags with your travel partners, but you carried me and I carried your essentials. With haste, you marched across the train platform and through the busy bodies to find a corner formed between a pillar and an escalator. You held the phone close to your ear. I perked my fuzz-covered ears as I heard you greet the caller with sobs. It was as if the trembling of the phone had been passed on to you like some sort of virus. You had been holding something inside of you that was larger than yourself, much like the phone ringing as it held its entire caller within its thin dimensions. You had been on silent, on vibrate. Tears began to pour out of your eyes, pushed out by bubbling concerns and burgeoning confessions. Rushing out with the tears came the words, "I think I'm a woman." Nowadays, I don't see you much. I hope you still answer the phone a lot. I hope you say everything you need to directly into the receiver before placing the phone in a pouch as safe as mine.
Middle name, deliberation. Stephanie Blank McCullough. Stephanie Mars McCullough, SMM. Stephanie Apple McCullough, SAM. Stephanie Button McCullough, SPM. Stephanie April McCullough, SAM. Not born in April. Stephanie Greer McCullough, SGM. Stephanie Eleanor McCullough, fancy. Stephanie Sylvia McCullough, Stephanie Howard McCullough, Stephanie Neptune McCullough, Stephanie Kimberly McCullough. We do not mourn or give each hand its eulogy. What about the players and props that may find their way back on stage? Memory slips. Memory of lines is auditory and visual. that the specifics of every shifting tone, decision, and director is lost when the scene is written. My memory fails to capture the script, and the script fails to capture my memory. Lynn McCullough as Dad. Tiger Finger Puppet as Stephanie McCullough as Bernarda. Gyarados Pokemon card as Stephanie Lynn McCullough as the Chief Operator.
I hugged you tight. I clung around your freshly shaven legs as you walked around the party. This was not how people normally saw you. My fibers stretched and decompressed, and my glitter caught the dim lights as you strutted around the house. Our friend Tommy took photos of us, capturing moments of glamour. We sat beside him on a shallow stairway that was the threshold between two rooms. Tommy was also beside us a few hours earlier in the girls' bathroom in the biology hallway, supporting you as you slid me on and put on makeup before going in front of the crowd. He was the magical entity helping you in your transformation, and I was the magical slipper. On the stairs, you ran your finger between your thigh and my soft and stringy material. You were simultaneously soothing yourself, contemplating yourself, and finding satisfaction in the soft bumps of the unfamiliar texture of your own hairless legs. You explained to Tommy that being dressed like this was duly exciting and terrifying. You were not afraid of being seen in me, a lilac dress, nor were you afraid of wearing matching shimmering eyeshadow or a two-toned bleach blonde wig. But you were afraid that it was all something like an illusion, merely magically conjured. I was gifted to you, the same as your makeup and shoes. The confidence was borrowed, but all of it made you feel more like yourself. You were afraid that it would melt away when you left, that the person you wanted to be would slip away forever. Put me on again, and as I stretch, recognize the beauty in each fiber that spans from then to now.
Beaver Plush as Stephanie McCullough as the Herald. D&D Bow Tie as Stephanie McCullough as the Thespian. Baby Doll as Stephanie McCullough as Mr. Hart. Glitter Palette as Stephanie McCullough as Captain Stash. Glitter Hair Clips as Stephanie McCullough as Artemador / Silla McCullough.
We were crossing the street with your mom and her parents. You were heading towards the fudge shop where your sister worked a summer job. Your grandparents wanted to say goodbye before leaving the New Jersey beach town and going home. This was our first summer together, and while you fell in love when you first held me, a thick discomfort had formed between us. I could tell you were avoiding going to the beach. You meandered for hours before putting me on and meeting your family at the shoreline. While your grandparents were visiting, this discomfort expanded. During the short amount of time where you would wear me on the beach without a cover-up, I could observe the ways your grandpa pretended as if you were not there, and the ways your grandma explained away his behavior. Your old name was thrown around with as much ease as a slightly deflated beach ball. I was a sort of armor, though. Wearing me reasserted your choice and your need to be feminine. I was the language through which you unapologetically declared that you're a woman. But I could feel that the intense assertion and reassertion of this declaration was taxing. From beneath your shirt, I could feel the sharpness of your breath each time your grandpa intentionally used that name, the one you'd wish could be forgotten. With my latch, I could feel the tightness in your spine, but I could also feel that you were keeping your composure. You never slouched, even when you corrected him, knowing that it was a waste of air. In the fudge shop, I heard your mom hug your grandma first and then him, exchanging goodbyes that were direct with an inch of tenderness. You were absolutely still, and I could hear from within your chest that you were rehearsing for your turn. Actually, it's Stephanie. It was nice seeing you. Actually, it's Stephanie. It was nice seeing you. Actually, it's Stephanie. It was nice. You were cut short with a hearty, well, before your grandpa loudly announced your old name and said, "It was nice to see you." With your shoulder blades still sharply tense beneath my straps, you responded, "Actually, it's Stephanie, and yeah, it was lovely seeing you. Can I get a hug?" We both know that he doesn't think it's appropriate for men to hug people who are not women, and to him, you are not a woman. I feel the answer to your question in the shifting of my strap as your shoulder rotates to extend a handshake. Since then, you have seldom worn me to a beach or a pool. I'm guessing that you haven't really been to the water since then, but I can't know from my perspective beneath your bed. I could feel how tired your body was. But I want you to know that as the years go on, it will get easier for you to exist as yourself, assert yourself, but it will not get easier for your grandpa or anyone to continue to label you with images that only become more obscure.
Hello, my name is Stephanie McCullough. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be auditioning for the role of Ainsley. Before I started, I just wanted to clarify, you may have noticed that on my audition sheet, I left this section for my previous production history and experience blank. I actually have been in productions before, it's just that the roles I played were male, and I played most of them before I transitioned. I memorized the lines and their blocking, and now I want to move away from that box. So, yeah, like I said, I would...
Make way, make way,
make way for the procession of touchy business. Didn't listen.
I told you I want nothing to do with you. I'm trying to audition. I hate new parts. I'm sorry. I tried to leave my previous roles out of this, but I guess they decided to show up anyway.
Line. I want my biological ego. This is ma'am. That's my want. Forsooth, these simple garments have no color to them. What am I? What is it they call me? Part of me is a twist. Part of me is slightly more amenable. Part of me is bona fide. Part of me is more obtuse than a Proust novel. Part of me is a half. Part of me is a whole. I am wondering, is it likely my mind could perpend a mermaid out of me? To all, I wanna take her. I just gotta have her. Oh, I do enjoy the moment I have long anticipated. Here. I don't gotta fantasize. I wonder why I waited. Whither am I going? Is my eye to my fate? Is my eye to my fantasy? I say to you, my name is bent against me, yet something pulls me forth. Where lies my will? Is named in my will. Beware, and my will not be satisfied. Is named in my will wander forth, and my fantasy will be satisfied. Defend me, thy lover, and answer me this. Please listen. We must come clean. Our lives so filled with strife. Words so touchy. We must be prudent. You should accept our story. You should accept our lives.
You're coming out? But I was in trans when I played any of you, and the characters weren't written as trans, so how could you be? Please just leave me alone so I can audition this live.
Fine. We are you. We are made out of stuff from you. But we set sail.
Okay, great. Now please leave me alone. The audition slot is almost up.
Line. Yeah. I get just what I want, and I will not give up. Well, I'm here for line. I just gotta have line. Leave my want. My line. Leave my line. Get the I want my line. We're down on our knees. Please give the family our line. Forsooth, a simple line. Oh, read my line. My line. My line. Line.
It's been years. I don't remember your lines any better than you do. A shoebox holds the limbs of those who have passed on. Extensions of arms and legs that were designed to keep up here and see down there. Does the seed exist?
Or your
Eyes in blocking both my body and collar were marked as much as the performer. And as the performer is an extension of the stage, the pup is as much as an extension of the stage. My pop, my performance, my platform. I would feel most settled if some props were forever situated behind or beneath the stage. The tools designed for outdated allocations and incarnations of myself. Their grooves were formed in the performance of roles that are dissonant with current ones. Roles that I was cast as a prop of a larger production. The spirit of their corpse lies only in my memory and the other relics of these productions. This cast is part of me, and I do not ignore them, but I am also not bound to them. I hold them inside out. This inversion creates endless channels through which I will stride, moving on and redefining myself. We look forward to hearing back.